Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. Oh, we are on episodes 7 and 8 of Yuri on Ice. I am having so much fun rewatching this series. And we're at the from here we're over halfway through the season and officially, and so we're on episodes 7 and 8, and it's all uphill from here. Like, everything's great. I said in the last video that I felt kind of bad that we were cutting the Cup of China in half, and then we'll have the Russia Rostelecom cut in half too. But you know what? Having episodes 11 and 12 together, you almost have to. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll finish up Cup of China today. We've got Yuri's first public debut. Well, no, not his first public debut. I guess he did Yuri on Ice in the qualifiers, but it's his first global debut of his free skate, his freestyle. And so we'll get to see that, and then we'll get to the start of the Russia Rostelecom. And honestly, I remembered episode 6 was the episode with the Eros debut, where Yuri's trying to like get Victor's attention and show the world that he's like, yes, Victor's mine, like that sort of thing. And I remember we got introduced to Chris last episode, and I remembered a couple other things. But honestly, like I said, it's been a long time since I've watched season 1 with this season of the series. I don't really remember what all happens in episodes 7 and 8 and 9. 7, 8, 9 are kind of a blur to me. I remember episodes 10, 11, and 12 well, but I don't remember 7, 8, and 9 that well. They all kind of blur for me. So it'll be interesting going back and rewatching these two this set and figure out exactly what takes place when. Because I remember lots of moments, but I don't exactly remember when they happen. So it'll be fun to fangirl when they pop up on screen for us. But I've really enjoyed rewatching this season. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you all have enjoyed it as well. But I'm really excited. Today was my day off, and so I was like, you know what? I want to watch Yuri on Ice. It seems like it would be a fun time. So we'll see, right? So let's not waste any more time, and we're just going to dive into it. So we're going to be watching episodes 7 and 8 of Yuri on Ice, and we are going to start that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. I love this show so much. And going back and rewatching these episodes, like I said, it's been a long time since I've watched season 1. And so when I decided that I would maybe do a rewatch, I was like, okay, I purposefully will not rewatch this series before then. And so I finally got around to doing it now, and it's just so good, and it all just builds. That was the one thing going into this, because at this point we're getting into the Rostelecom, the Russian Cup, and then after that we have the Grand Prix. And going through this series, I was like, man, we're gonna see a lot of these same programs, like especially Yuri and Yurio's programs, over and over again. Isn't that going to get boring? And the answer is no, because they're all different. Like something just like in any competitive competition like figure skating, each performance is going to be better in some areas and worse in other areas, and the mental state of the skaters is going to be different. And so it's just looking at how is it going to be during that performance, and how's it going to compare and contrast. And so that's been the one awesome thing about this series, is that the series stuck to its guns and was like, no, you're going to see Yuri do this same short program and same free skate 3 times, but it's going to be different every time, and it's going to have a different kind of feel to it. And it's so good. Like in this first one here, in the Cup of China, we get the free skate, and the free skate from Yuri is a totally different experience than it was during the qualifiers, because in the qualifiers we get it from Victor's perspective. He's watching Yuri perform it, and he's like, well, why is it like this? What about this? And now for the Cup of China, we get it from Yuri's perspective, and we get his voiceover, and we get inside his head for it, and it's a totally different vibe. Man, I forgot how much I love the Cup of China. The Cup of China episodes are great. 6 and 7 are wonderful, and I love episode 8 a lot too, but 6 and 7, man, they are just freaking awesome. I absolutely love them. And so I'm gonna go back and actually get to the episodes and walk through them again. But yeah, man, the Cup of China free skate. This episode is so good, and I remember watching this the first time and being like, I've got to go back and rewatch it again. Like, I think the first time I watched it, I was like, I gotta go back and rewatch, because it's just so good. Because it's Yuri, at this point we're halfway through the series, and Yuri has even though he's had some amazing skates, he's not over his anxiety. And it's something that I don't think he will get over. It'll always be there. It's just how does he cope with it? And so Victor, who has never coached before and just thought he'd just waltz into this coaching position like Yakov and can do it, so can I, is dealing with, okay, what if you have a diva skater? What if you have a skater that gets anxiety? How are you going to deal with it as a coach? And Victor's like, I don't know what to do. Victor's like, I don't have this problem. I'm always confident. So it's fun to see Victor be like, okay, Yuri's heart is like glass. What if I just shattered it? It's like, God, Victor. And so he does, because he's tried everything else. He's tried to isolate Yuri. He's tried to make him use the headphones. He's tried to keep his mind off things. It's just not working. And so he's like, fine, if I don't want you going in nervous on the ice, so let's just do it now and get it over with. And it ends up working. It ends up getting Yuri's mind like a cathartic cleansing where he goes into the skate and he's like, well, that was the worst thing that could happen, so I guess it's all up from here, right? It's so good. And just seeing Yuri want to surprise Victor and defile expectations and go beyond his wildest dreams to skate, it's wonderful, and it makes him have like the best performance he's had the entire series so far with his free skate. It's just great. And him even trying to like land the move that was Victor's, the flip, the quad flip that was Victor's move. It's wonderful. I love it. But Yuri struggling with, and that's such a feeling, right? If you've been in a competition, I think of competitive speech. If you've been in a competition and you're doing like really well, and then suddenly you're not used to that, the pressure can be there, that where, it's one thing to be an underdog and work your way up. And that's how I always I'm kind of like Yuri in a sense that when I did speech and stuff, I liked having to like work my way up and be like, okay, you're down, you're like I didn't like going first. Like I wanted to leave a lasting impression and be like one of the last ones to give my speech. And then I always felt like it was easier when you're the underdog to climb your way up to the top than it is to be at the top and stay there. That's a lot harder, I think, that once you get to that point and you kind of plateau there, like, do you stay there? Do you fall back down? What do you do? The pressure's on. Like, it's hard. And I can totally relate to Yuri being like, I've never been in this position to know what to do. And he kind of freaks out, right? And Victor, who's been like a prodigy and has been an amazing skater since day one, is like, I don't know what the problem is. You should be over the jitters by now. It's like, some people don't ever get over the jitters. Sometimes when you give like a speech in public, you still get nervous, even if you've done it over and over again. Like that feeling just doesn't leave, right? So it's great to see Victor be like, I don't know what to do. And so of course Yuri doesn't get a lot of sleep. I like Yuri's face being like, with the sleep mask. And Victor's like, yeah. And he doesn't have like any clothes on except his boxers. Victor's like, no pajamas for you, just sleep. But I love that we tackle issues like Yuri being sleep deprived. And he comments on it during the performance. He's like, well, considering I've not got a lot of sleep, I'm doing all right. Like a lot of sports series that I've watched don't really tackle like fatigue and stuff like that unless, it's in like the final hour. But here it's like all the prep beforehand, like all catching up to him. And to be fair, I get what Victor's going for. He's like, oh, we'll just nap and I will sit here on you so that you can't go anywhere. And in Yuri's case, he's like, you're sleeping on me. This is too close proximity. Nope. And he's like, set an alarm, Victor. And Victor's like just straddling him with his legs. It's like, and so of course, Yuri doesn't get any sleep. How could you? When your idol is sleeping on top of you and he can't even open the bottle of water. He's so nervous. And Victor's just sitting there like, that was a mistake. That didn't work. I do love the voice actor for Victor in the English dub because he knows how to like be like kind of condescending and does that flex of emotion throughout. It's great. And Josh Grell as Yuri in these episodes is just wonderful. Josh Grell, he's so good at voice acting for Yuri. And like I said in the reaction, he plays Tyrion from Ruby and Tendo in the English dub of Haikyuu. And if you've watched the English dub of him, you can kind of tell it's his voice, but it's a totally different character. It's great. But yeah, Yuri getting nervous. And the thing of it is that it all just mounts up. Like, everyone's doing wonderful. Especially Peachit. Oh, Peachit. I'm glad he took gold in that event. Oh, our boy Peachit. He is so likable. That's the thing. Peachit doesn't even have to try. He's just so likable. Do feel bad for Hong Won-ji. Hong Won-ji tried. I don't get why his program Hong Won-ji's theme was violence in this series. He seems like the least violent character in the whole Skate series. He's so likable and sweet. I'm like, why is his theme violence? And I love that in the vision that he has in the recreation in his mind of the story, he has like Georgi is like his partner in crime, and then it shows him like trying to save Leo. It's so good. But yeah, I was like, oh, Hong Won-ji, I want to see him come back because he's so sweet. I like Hong Won-ji. And Leo, too. I'll be honest, some of the free skate outfits, like Hong Won-ji's is nice. Leo's free skate outfit, what is that? Let's get on fashion for just a minute. Like, everybody has these beautiful blazers, this elaborate bedazzlement. Like, Chris Giametti's, his free skate outfit is one of my favorites. I love that it's like got the sides that you can see through and it's all stitched up. It's great. But Leo's is the plainest thing. I was like, represent America, dude. Like, you could have had a much flashier outfit. I mean, even Jean-Jacques has like all the purple and stuff, right? Well, that was his short program, so we haven't seen his freestyle yet. But yeah, I do like that they talk about the stories, and some of the skaters get the story of the program they're representing, but others do not. Like, I think that we got Swangil Lee. He's really good at the technical aspects of his skating, but the program and the emotion he's not so good at. He's probably, I like that this show is very much willing to have skaters with multiple personalities. They're not all just cookie cutter personalities. They're all very different, and some of them are genuinely unlikable. And Swangil Lee, he's fine. He's just so damn bland that I'm like, and you almost have to respect him for how blunt he is. He's just like, when Sarah wants him to go eat with them, he's like, no. And she's like, what? He's like, I don't want to eat with any of you. It's like, okay. But oh my god, at least Hong Won-ji got a bunch of teddy bears, got a bunch of different plushes there. I also want to make note that during Chris's performance here, a couple things about Chris's free skate and his performance. One, that outfit that he wears, it's very much like Yuri's short program. It's very sensual, but you know what? I don't remember his free skate as much as his short program. And I feel like it just doesn't have as much sexiness to it. And so, like, when the voice actress that plays Minako, I always love her English dub reading of hot, so very hot. But I'm like, is it warranted, that line reading? Because it's not as sexy as his short program. But I don't remember it. We don't get to see as much of it as we do, I think, in the other rounds. I do want to make note of that. And the fact that Christoph's manager has been with him since he was in junior high. Like, he's been with, and he's in his 20s now. He's like 25. So he's been with him for like a decade, which is really cool. And Victor's known him for over a decade. So him and Chris, they go way back. They got a really cool friendship. I also love that when Victor first meets Christoph, and I know it's probably the line reading because of the way that the lips move, you've got to make it work. But I love that when Christoph first met Victor, he was like, oh, I'm Christoph Giametti, and Victor's like, hi, Chris. Just shortens it. Doesn't say, hey, can I call you Chris? He's just like, hi, Chris. Victor just doesn't. Victor would rather ask for forgiveness than permission. That's Victor's way of doing things. I just love that Christoph he's kind of like Yuri. He's always looked up to Victor since he was younger, right? I don't think, obviously, Christoph views Victor romantically like I feel that Yuri ends up viewing him. But I think that friendship is really, really close. I like the friendship that him and Victor have. But it's just that the tension in this episode is perfect, right? Also, if you notice, the two skaters that are skating with Victor in the flashback with Christoph, they look a lot older, which is interesting. Like it was their final years as Victor was coming onto the scene with that ridiculously like scaled peacock outfit, like all the feathers. He looks like the owl woman from She-Ra, from He-Man, the owl sorceress. I love it. But I do like Chris's character a lot. I like how he is ridiculous and over the top at times, but then he's also very serious as a skater, and he's very smart as a skater, and you get to kind of see like his ambition and that he wants to be side by side with Victor. And we see like his flashback of the year prior where him and JJ were on the stage with Victor, and it's great. So yeah, But, that shot of Chris just scoping up. Yeah, hot. So very hot. And then Peachy just blows him out of the water. Like, the animation budget went to animating Peachy hardcore. Also want to make note of the transitions where they have the crab shell and then it breaks open and it's all, like, broken apart. Yeah. So it's kind of like a representation of Yuri getting broken out of his shell. But yeah, Victor's trying to calm Yuri down, and Peachy just has a phenomenal skate. He does so well. And they just, all the animation budget, they're like, we're going to animate the snot out of Peachy. And it's deserved, right? The only thing, like, I noted in the reaction is he's skating to, like, the themes from the same, like, the movie and its sequel. I was like, is he going to keep taking different themes from the Prince and the Skater and the Prince and the Skater 2? I mean, if he can make it work, sure, why not? But I do like Peachy. You can't not like Peachy. He's so freaking happy and kind that you just want to support him. It's kind of like what Gino says. He's like, everybody just naturally loves Peachy because he's so charismatic, right? And then Victor, oh my gosh, when Yuri's like freaking out, being like, how'd he do and everything, and Victor's like, don't listen. Like, the tension of that scene and the voice acting, because Victor's like, well, I'll just shatter it now and see what happens. God, I love it. I love that entire scene. And Victor's like, well, if you don't make it to the podium, then it's fine. I'll just quit being your coach. And Yuri just like breaks down. He's like, oh shit, what'd I do? And I love Yuri saying, he's like, I know I get nervous. I know that I freak out. He's like, I can't help it, but I know it happens. He's like, I just need you to have faith in me. Like, believe that I can do it. Believe it more than me. And Victor's like, oh, okay. I'm like, that breakdown moment and Josh Grill's voice acting for it is wonderful. It's great. I love it so much. And then we have Georgi's outfit. We did Leo's skate. Leo, bless his heart. I think maybe he would have scored higher if his outfit wasn't so bland. It's sparkly, but it's like a shirt and pants. There's nothing to it. There's no frills. There's no exciting features. Not like Georgi Popovich. His outfits are so over the top and wonderful. I do, as ridiculous as the makeup is, I do like the caribou outfit a little bit better. But Georgi, I love that this series portrays relationships. Like, we're starting to see in these episodes a lot of different relationships being fleshed out. And I really like that. Like, we see that Georgi has been in a relationship with Anya, and then she ends up, and she does the thing, and he's like, no! It's so funny. That's where I am at the episode now. But I love that we get all these relationships fleshed out. And that they're all different kinds of relationships, right? That Georgi has this relationship with this girl. It doesn't work out. And he's trying to win her back. That you have Hong Guanji, who clearly likes Leo. Leo, I don't know if that woman is his coach or his girlfriend or both. Then you have the siblings, Sarah and Mickey. Then you have Emil. Emil is trying to get with Sarah, but he can't get past Mickey to do it. And then you have, obviously, Yuri and Victor. You have Yurio and Odebek, which we'll get to. God, I love Yurio and Odebek when we get to them. It's, I love when a tsundere meets his match, and that's Odebek, and we'll get to that. But then, yeah, it's just great seeing all these different relationships, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them have, like, this strength to them, and others have, like, crumbled and fallen apart. And then you have JJ, who somehow got engaged. We'll get to JJ. But yeah, poor Georgi, I feel for him. Rewatching this a second time, I like Georgi even more. He's wonderful. He's so fun and over the top and eccentric. It's great. And then we have Yuri doing the free skate, and it's freaking wonderful. And it's so good. And then he does the toe flip, and Victor's just like, and you see Victor being like, wow, this is going really, really good. And then Yuri's like, I wonder what he'd say if I flipped it to a quadruple flip. And he's like, you did my move. And they're like, but he did enough rotations. And they're like, I love that Minako's like, did everybody see that? Did we get the flips? And even Yurio is like stunned. Like, I didn't know he could do that. Like, And I love that the more we go throughout these programs, the more we do them, like the more energetic and energized they get, and they add more difficulty to them, and the more like they get like sweatier and just more disheveled. It's great. And then I love that Victor has his like eyes closed, and he's like he's just so surprised, and him running to the kiss and cry, and then and just the kiss. It's a kiss. There's no way it's not. Nope. How else could he surprise him? I love Victor collects himself, and then he swoops in and goes for the kiss. God, it's so good. I mean, it goes like, aha! I love the parents. The mom's like, oh, that's our boy. And the dad's like, oh, okay. And everybody's like, yeah. I love it. He's like, I couldn't think of any better way to surprise you than how you surprised me. And I love that Grell just makes it goes, well, it worked. I love the look between them. Ah! It's so beautiful. I can't even. You better believe the thumbnail is going to probably be them kissing. It's probably going to be the kiss. Either the kiss or the aftermath is going to be the thumbnail. One of the two, right? One of the two. God, it's so good. But yeah, Peachy takes the gold, and Kristoff takes bronze, and then Yuri takes the silver. Yep. Uh-huh. And so I just love that ending thing where Yurio has the spoon and the plastic spoon. He just breaks it into the dish and he's like, when I get to Moscow. Like, I just love how Yurio gets so flustered. Oh, it's so wonderful. He's such a cat. He gets so flustered, but then as soon as he sees his grandpa, he's like, Grandpa! Like, just instantly hugs him and is adorable. It's so freaking cute. Mm-hmm. Man, they really foreshadowed with those steamed buns and mocha. They foreshadowed hard in that preview. How dare they? Having a dog, I'm always freaked out that he's going to eat something he should not. And I'm like, mm-mm. And then, oh, we'll talk about the tie grab. Damn. Yuri and Yurio getting all flustered. So yeah, so us getting them to Moscow and the Sheremetyevo International Airport. They make him say it like a bunch in the preview. And then I just, I love when you see him walk up, Yurio is just like kind of freaked out, like, I don't want to be here, because he knows his fangirls are there, which they're on home turf, right? So of course, all of his fangirls, I love that he's the white tiger of Russia, but his fangirls have like all these cat ears and cat things. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. And he's like, I gotta get away from the fangirls. I also love that his backpack has leopard print. That's really, really cute. I love that so much. Mm-hmm. I love that Mira's like, wait, what? And then he sees his grandpa. It's so cute. I also love this series because it gives you like little glimpses of the towns and everything where all the skaters are from. Like you get to see like the streets of Moscow, and you get to see like Barcelona and things like that. So it's cool that you get all these different regions that they go to, and you kind of get like little glimpses of them. It's really fun. I like it a lot. I also like Yurio's denim jacket there. It's really cute. But yeah, and his little eyes sparkling when he sees his grandpa. Oh, it's so good. Just break your grandpa's back, though. His poor grandpa, he needs his poor car. And he gives him the proshkis. And they look so good. Like watching this series, I know it's about skating, but it makes me want to eat. So I like watch it almost for the food. And when he makes the one in the next episode, which we'll see, the next episode where he fuses the pork cutlet bowl into the proshki, it's like, mm-hmm. But yeah, you can tell Yurio is frustrated because, you know, national treasure Victor Nikiforov. And he's like, it's like, your skating days are over, old man. But, so we have the Star Hotel where they go at. And I really like another thing that they do that Yuri kind of touches on is the fact that at the Cup of China, everybody was all kind of friends there. Like, Victor and Kristoff were good friends. Peachy and Yuri were good friends. Georgio knew Victor. Like, all the people that were competing there. And Leo and Huang Wenji knew Peachy. So a lot of them, they were all friends. So at Cup of China, everybody was just a bunch of Nakama. They were all like a big friendship ball. But here at Russia, these skaters don't know each other nearly as well. They don't really have the rapport with each other that they did at the Cup of China. I think the only ones that really truly know each other, other than Yuri and Yurio, are Emil and Sarah and Mickey. And Emil's just chasing after Sarah. He's not really friends with Mickey. But like we have Sung-gil Lee, and he just wants to avoid everybody. He's like, mm-mm. Also, Victor, the clothes on Victor in this, where he's got like the like Victor with the black pants and the brown shirt and the brown jacket over it and the sunglasses. Like, okay, sure, such fashion forwardness. And then Yurio with his hood on all the time. It's like, I love that he's put on his glasses at this point. Like, oh look, there's Yurio. It's great. And then he's like, oh God. And has to run off. Mm-hmm. But Victor doesn't answer the question of, don't you think, with as good as Yuri's doing, that someone of your caliber would want to compete against him rather than coach him? And the answer is yes. Victor does want to skate against Yuri. But that's not the arrangement they have right now. And I think Victor, around this time in the series, Victor's slowly realizing that he does want to compete against Yuri. He does want to skate against him. And it's like, oh, God. It's like, yes. Mm-hmm. Yup. So that's going to be an issue that comes up because Victor dodges the question and points out to Yurio. So that's going to be something that's going to come up in the future. We're setting up some drama in this episode. Uh-huh. Oh God, I love it. And Victor just trying to like get with Yurio and Yurio knocking the coffee out of his hand. Mm-hmm, you has been. And Victor's like, "Aw, little kitten." So then, yeah. So Yuri tries to like look over, and it's such a the interactions in this series too are very realistic. Like when he sees Sung-Gil, you know, he just kind of looks over and he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." You know, like if you were in real life next to somebody that you kind of know but you're not friends with, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, there they are." But you wouldn't know what to say, right? And Yuri's like, I'm not really friends with any of these people, so I don't know what to say. It's really awkward. And that's so relatable, especially like if you go to a competition and you don't really know the other competitors. You're just like, well, we're competing, but that's all I know. And then, yeah, of course, Mickey and Sarah, he's got like Sarah wrapped, and Emil's just like, I'm just trying to like talk to your sister. I don't know. Emil's got such balls. Emil's just like, great. Also, Sung-Gil's shirt of the French bulldog with the fedora and the like detective coat. What? It's great. It's wonderful. And then Sarah, she sees Yuri and is like, oh hey, you're not somebody I want to date, but let's go hang out so my brother can kind of like leave this guy alone. Mm-hmm. And Yuri's like, and she tries to get Sung-Gil and he's like, no, I don't want to go. And she's like, how rude. And they kind of argue about it, and Yuri meanwhile like slips off and lands in the same elevator as Yurio. And I love that he's happy to see Yurio, but then it's awkward because they don't know what to say to each other, right? He's like, oh, I'm glad to see you, a familiar face, but then they don't have anything to say to one another. It's wonderful. Oh, I do like the animation on them, though. And, of course, they're on the 8th and 9th floor, so they're just a floor apart. Mm-hmm. And I love he's like, hey, Yuri's like, maybe since we're both competing here, we'll just have a really good time, and we'll both have just a good fun time skating. And Yurio's like, I'm going to destroy you. It's just nope, not. And Yuri's like, well, should have seen that one coming. Mm-hmm. So then, yeah, we start out, we have the competition, the 6th Cup of China, the 6th Rostelecom Cup, and we see the results from the men's qualifier. And so we have the USA and Japan event. And so in Japan, Odebek was there, and he ended up winning. Christophe won in France, and Peachy won in China. But he's not scored. Peachy didn't score enough at the Skate USA to end up going overall. So, interesting, right? And then you have Yuri Plutsky and Kotsky and Lee Sung-Won. So Lee, Sung-Will Lee, he got second at Japan, and third was Mickey. And Emil got second at Skate Canada after Jean-Jacques and Yuri. Yeah, so the two that are guaranteed to go are Odebek and Christophe. So, but we don't know about Peachy. I don't think Peachy, because I'm trying to think of who ends up being in the finals. It's Jean-Jacques, Christophe, Odebek, Yuri, Yurio, and is it Lee or is it Mickey? I think it's one of those two, or maybe it's Peachy. I don't think Peachy makes it though. I can't remember. I cannot remember. No, Peachy makes it because he's there at the. Peachy makes it to the final because he's there at the ring party where he's like, "You guys are married." So yeah, Peachy does make it. So it's Peachy, Odebek, Christophe, Yuri, Yurio, and Jean-Jacques. So it's those 6 that end up making it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but right now Odebek and Christophe are the only ones that are guaranteed to go. And Odebek's so serious, and he's 18. So Odebek and because Yurio is like what, 15? So they're only 3 years apart, right? They're not, but Odebek, he's so serious. I just love how just like blunt he is. It's great. And then so yeah, and we see this other guy that manages to get like silver, who is, I'm like, we never see him again at all. So it's just like, what even? And then Jean-Jacques with The JJ style Jean-Jacques Leroy. Oh my god. I have so much fun having disdain for JJ. It's such a weird thing because when I first watched this, I watched the English dub first. And when we got to JJ, I was like, oh no. The English dub voice for JJ, it's perfect because you loathe his character. And all the other skaters loathe him too. They're like, Victor's like, hey, JJ. Like, he's just like, Like, Victor's like, and Yurio's like, Like, nobody really likes JJ because he's so egotistical. Like, he's so full of himself. His song for his short program is King JJ. It's like, oh my god, we'll get to that. But I watched this in the English dub, and the English dub voice actor really makes you not like his character. And then I watched it in the Japanese voice cast afterwards when I rewatched the first time, and it was Miyano Mamoru playing him, and I was like, oh god, of course Miyano Mamoru's playing him. Of course he is. But Miyano has such like a charm to his voice that you almost end up kind of liking him. You're like, oh yeah. And then I was like, no, it's Jean-Jacques. It's just, I can't. And he's only 19. He sounds like 27. He's only 19. It's ridiculous. But Lee Sung-gil, Sung-gil Lee is older than Jean-Jacques. I'm like, no. And old Emile, he's 18. I believe Emile's 18. Yeah, and Mickey's 22, so he's older. So yeah, Yuri's 15. And so yeah, we have all of the skaters there, and then again, Sung-gil Lee, his outfit does not match his personality. I love the rainbow feathers though. I love that outfit. It looks great on him, but it does not match his personality at all. And so then I can relate to Minako. Minako the whole time, she's trying to get her signal to work and like the live stream keeps cutting out. I can totally relate to her. She's like, I should have just gone to Russia. It's like, girl, you can afford plane tickets in this economy? I do like Emile's sparkly, like his vest. The blouse underneath it is weird with the ruffles, but I do like his sparkly vest. It's pretty cool. It's nice. Yeah. All right. And so then we have Emile. And I do like that Sung-gil Lee gets a little distracted by Emile, which is kind of cool. And so Mickey makes the comment that Emile is good at his technical things too, but not very good at the presentation. So that's interesting note. He's got some things to work on. And the first time we ever see JJ, he winks at the camera. It's like, oh my god. And looks over at Victor. Victor looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. And Yuri and Yurio are like thinking about their performance. But he's like, oh, did you get this certain jump, da-da-da? And he's like, claps for him. And I love that Yuri's like, wait, what? And JJ just walks past Yuri to go straight to Victor. And Victor's like, hey, JJ. I just love how much he doesn't care for him either. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, Emile acts like an 18-year-old now that you see him like at the kiss and cry. Yeah. But he has like a freaking beard. Like, he's 18 and has a full-on beard. I'm like, dude, if you're trying to get Sarah's attention, maybe you should... I'm going to take a picture of that because it's actually really adorable. Him trying to get her attention, and Mickey is just like fully captivated her as the knight. I like the different dynamics that the skaters all have, and they're all dealing with something of their own, like their own struggle. Like with Georgi, he's dealing with the fact that his girlfriend broke up with him and he's heartbroken. And then with Hong Won-ji, he's dealing with the fact that he doesn't quite understand the presentation. He doesn't quite get it in his skate routine. And then you have Emile, who's like trying to get Sarah's attention. And then you have Sarah and Mickey, who are both skaters and have skated together since they were kids. And Mickey is the protective older brother. And he's like, I've just got to protect my sister from any man. And she's like, I need to move on, big bro. Like, big bro, I appreciate you loving me and keep me safe, but I'm a big girl. I can handle it. So that's always, I like their storyline a lot in this. And then I love that when we see pictures of Sarah as a skater, she's beautiful. I love her skating outfit and like how her hair's done up. It's so gorgeous. Like, I almost wish we could see her skate in this series. I really would love to see it. And then we have Yurio dealing with the fact that his grandpa's not coming to watch. That's the sad thing. It's so sad because Yurio's like on his home turf. Like, he's wanted to do good. We get that stupid shot of that dog looking at them steam buns. How dare they? But yeah, it's so sad because Yurio, he wants to do his best, but his grandpa, who is the program is for, is not able to see it. And it's like, ugh. And then, so this scene here, where Yuri's about to do his short program of Eros, of On Love Eros, and Victor, of course, is waving to the crowd like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? And when Yuri grabs the tie and like yanks him down there, and he's like, I'm going to show the whole of Russia my love. And it's like, oh, okay, Yuri, sweet, great. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, those lips couldn't get glossier. But man, I love when Yuri takes a challenge and he's like, nobody's good enough for Victor. I'm going to show them that I'm the best one for him. And he just especially during the short program, just lets it all out and just like oozes out of him. It's so good. I love it. And the judges are like, oh, hey. And then it's wonderful. And Victor's just like, he's real turned on today. Can't imagine why. I love it. And in this program, you just see more and more of just how it keeps evolving and getting better. And Yurio gets to see it. I love that she opens up the curtains for him to walk through. And yeah, so Yurio gets nervous. He gets nervous and intimidated in this moment. He still is amazing because Yurio's great, but this is like the moment where he gets a little bit nervous that he's not going to be able to perform to his best. Mm-hmm. And then we have Yurio, like he found his agape. I love in that moment that Yuri and Victor see him walk by and they're like, well, he found his agape. And they're like, finally, yeah! Like they're so supportive of him. Like Yuri and Victor, even though they're competing against Yurio, they're so supportive of him and they want him to do well. Like I love that friendship and that camaraderie that they have throughout. And then Victor kissing the skate. They were just very good. I like that the reporter at this point, he goes, wow, that's some coaching. And I was like, they're very good friends. It's so good. And then, of course, Yurio gets mad. And he's like, I should be calm. And instead, I'm just angry. And this, I do love the spins when they shoot the different images of him spinning. It's the animation on him is so gorgeous. It's wonderful. Like they just make his hair flow and just all the shots of him like crouched down and all the step routines and everything. Like his program is so hard, but he just makes it look so effortless and fluid. It's beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I agree that he looks like, though his trainer Sheetha says he looks like a beautiful ballerina. And it's like, yeah, he does. He looks flawless. It's so good. But then, yeah, and then of course, the cat ears pop on his head and the fangirls go wild and he's in second place after Yuri. But yeah, so JJ, oh my God, just drunk on his own ego coming out there for King JJ. I lost it at this because this is so ridiculous. His outfit's fine. But when he starts talking about it, he's like, no one can do what I do. No one can collaborate with the hardcore rock band. And I'm like, dude, this is not hardcore rock. This is like alt rock at best. But okay. And just the imagery, he's so ridiculous and over the top. Like JJ, just the imagery that they have of him. He's got his fangirls. He's got the undercut. He's got everything. They're all singing along to a theme song about himself. And how they just need to follow him and everything will be fine. Okay. And then what gets me though is the imagery. Like he is an amazing skater. Like JJ it's that ego and just the talent that he has. It takes him so far. But oh my God. So he has the Grand Prix medal from France. The Grand Prix final the Grand Prix of France. So I guess that's from last year. But he has this tattoo of the Canadian maple leaf with the words beside it, and he has the skate. It's like he did a professional photo shoot of him and his medal, but he has that tattoo there, right? And then it shows his ass, and I was like, here's the problem. JJ is an extremely well-drawn, attractively drawn man, but his personality ruins it for me. I'm just like, no. And his tattoo on his lower back, the tramp stamp that he has, it doesn't say JJ, it says JJL, like Jean-Jacques Leroy. But like the booty shot and everything, and how sculpted he is, and then he's up on a stage with this band, like he's shirtless, and he has like another tattoo with the skate medals. He's wearing the skate medals at the concert. Oh my God. His ego. It's so much. I'm like, oh my God. And then he does the stupid JJ. He does like the stupid JJ at the end. And I'm like, oh my God. He's just so full of himself. It's ridiculous. But all that confidence, like there's people like that out there that when they compete, they think they are that and a bag of chips. And it takes them so far. Like he is the polar opposite of Yuri. He is so the polar opposite of Yuri. He is just so confident in himself, and to a point, and we'll get there when we get there, but he's so confident in himself, and it just carries him. It makes him look powerful as a skater. He can pull off the execution of the moves and the presentation. He's just a really talented skater, and I love that his parents are he's like the perfect combination of his parents. And then, yeah, we find out about his girlfriend, his fiance, and everything later. And of course, we have to end the episode with Mocha-chan. Mocha-chan got a steam bun lodged in their throat, and they're at the vet's, but they don't know what's going to happen. And Yuri's like, Victor, you're not making the same mistake I did. You're going to go, and you're going to see your dog before it possibly dies so that you don't experience the same thing that I did. He's like, you got to go. And you can't blame Yuri for thinking that. He doesn't want Victor to suffer. He knows he needs to go. And I like that Sarah peeks around the corner like, what's going on? And so Victor's like, I can't just leave you. And that's when he sees Yakov. And he's like, Yakov, you can coach Yuri tomorrow. You can do this, right? You're already coaching Yuri. What's one more, right? I love it. I love that Yuri's thinking of Victor and trying to make sure that he gets to see his dog. And then Yakov's like, oh, you come crawling back to me? And he's like, nope. I just need you to do this. Need you to coach him for a day. For one competition. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, and everybody's like, huh? I love Yurio's, huh? So yeah, we finally met JJ. I know there's gonna be people in the comments that are like, I like JJ, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you'll have to deal with me like love hating him for the rest of this series. But it's so fun. I do really like I do like that all of these different skaters with all these different personalities have merged, and they all have their own ambitions and problems and things they're dealing with, and that we kind of follow them alongside Victor and Yuri. It's sad that we only get 12 episodes, and we really don't get to know any of them until episode 5 and 6, and then we only have just a couple episodes with all of them. That's the downside of this being a short series, is we don't get a lot of time with them. So I'm hoping in Ice Adolescence, in the prequel, I'm hoping that we actually get a lot of Chris, maybe, because Chris would have known Victor around that time. If we get like Christoph, like him talking with Chris, that would be really cool. If we get maybe some of the older skaters, like Mickey, maybe, he was 22, so he would have been a little bit in Victor's age range, and maybe get Yuri as a younger skater. That would be interesting to see, like Yuri clawing his way from the bottom and see a preview of it. I don't know. I would really like to see more of Victor and Christoph in the movie. That would be fun because I like their friendship a lot. We shall see, but what a cliffhanger to leave us off on, but what can we do? So next episode is episode 9 and 10. Episode 9 is like a rough episode, but we'll get through it. I just remember episode 9 being like, because Victor and Yuri are separated, but then episode 10 happens, and it's glorious. There's so many great moments in episode 10 and episode 9 and episodes 11 and 12. So we've got the little foreshadowing of the drama to come. Yurio is still dealing with those own issues. Yuri seems to be doing much better, but we'll see what happens next week, right? So in the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction and discussion. I'm excited to hear your comments down below. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next week to talk about Yuri on Ice. Bye.